Hey, welcome back. Chuck here with American Travel Fun. Today we're going to talk about something a little different. We're going to talk about what the TSA will actually allow you to bring on planes. And no, I'm not talking about your typical do's and don'ts list. I'm talking about things that are odd. Things you would not think you could bring or should bring. But they allow it.
What?
Now, the other night, just to let you know how I found this, I was browsing the TSA website, and honestly, it's a weird place. If you find the right link, you get to this really weird section where it shows you all kinds of things that you can and can't do. Some of it's hilarious, some of it's kind of scary. Now, obviously, you can't bring guns, explosive, knives, nukes, and all kinds of crazy shit, okay? No BB guns, no water pistols, nothing like that. But I did find a section that says of carry-on items that you are allowed to bring. And this is very odd. Here are some of the weirdest things that I was able to find. Somewhere around 30 of them. So let's check it out. Number one, imagine you're boarding a plane and bam, the person next to you has a giant set of antlers, casually just chilling there in the overhead compartment. Apparently, this is perfectly okay with the TSA. They're totally cool with these big, sharp, pointy things in the overhead compartment or in your bag if you could fit it in there. I don't know. Now, on the website, it doesn't say if it has to be a 5-point deer or a 2-point or whatever they are. You know, it doesn't say how many little antler spikes you can have or not have, or if they have to be rounded off or sharpened, or they don't say anything like that. So, yeah, but you should check with the airline before you do this or anything else that's on this list. Little disclaimer, everything on this list is allowed by the TSA, but you also should check with the airline before attempting these things, because they have the ultimate right to say no. Moving on. Number two, if you're feeling a little lonely, no problem. Just go ahead and bring your entire skeleton friend with you. Yeah, but it has to be the entire skeleton, not just a skull. I didn't see anything about a skull or an arm or a leg or a foot. But if you have your entire skeleton, most definitely bring him. Number three. Ever wanted to bring your bike for a quick weekend getaway? Well, depends on the airline, you can. But the TSA says you definitely can. This one you definitely need to check with the carrier before you try to shove your two-wheel bicycle into the overhead bin. But they do allow it. They do allow you to bring your bicycle on. You can even bring your air pump too. I saw that on there. It's not on this list, but you can bring your air pump. Number four. This one's not your average carry-on. But for those who like creepy crawly things like, I don't know, spiders and bugs and slithery, slimy things, you can bring them as preserved specimens, as long as they're swimming in some type of special solution. And for things like that, you can go to the FAA Regulations website, which I'll have a link for down in the description below. Number five, you can bring your own Bocce Ball set. Yes, Bocce Ball, the thing that old Italian guys like to play in New York. And, you know, we throw the balls and the balls hit each other and one old guy's trying to knock the other balls out. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now.
Clear out. All right. Pre-burn. Yeah.
We'll take that one off of the back because it hit the back wall. That green one.
We have three? Wait, you guys have three. We still have one ball. There's one more ball.
One more ball.
Come on, Duran.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Of you. Ah! Get past! Get past! Yes! Go! Yes!
But it's a game that came from, I think, Italy. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's a game. But in any case, these things are heavy. These are heavy, like marble heavy. I think they're actually made of marble. And there's a set of like 6 or 8 of them. But you could bring the whole set. Bocce Ball. You could be having a whole Bocce Ball game in the middle of the aisle. Quite perfect, actually. Number 6. And in case you're feeling a little secure from the Bocce Ball guy, you can wear your body armor. The TSA says you can bring body armor for a carry-on. Just don't be surprised if they ask you to explain why you have body armor with you. That could be a little suspicious depending on who you are and why you have it. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know if you guys like to see a second list or a similar list to this. Now on with the show. Number 7, Lightsaber. This is actually on their list. You can't make this up. They have it as a particular item. Apparently it was a big deal for some reason, but it's a lightsaber. You're allowed to bring them. It doesn't say what kind, doesn't limit you to how many, a size, or anything. Just lightsaber, yes, that's how the website states it. Number 8. And just in case, bringing your skeleton friend wasn't enough, you could bring your pet lobster on vacation as well. Yes, some airlines do allow you to bring your lobster on vacation. You have to check with which ones do and don't, but some do. But the TSA says you definitely can. Number 9, butane. TSA says you can't bring it on as a carry-on or in your checked bag. But a butane curling iron that's cordless, has to be cordless now, and I don't know why, but you can bring that. Even though it has butane within it, it contains the cartridge and the whole thing or container of butane can be in there, you are allowed to. Just don't try to get any gas refills or spare cartridges allowed. They're not allowed in either checked or carry-on. So I guess you could just bring multiple butane-fueled curling irons that are cordless and you'd be fine. I guess. Again, this makes no sense to me, any of this stuff, really. Like, why? Why are you bringing half these things? Or why are they allowing the other half? Number 10. Now, this one, maybe I've just watched way too many mobster movies, like The Godfather and Scarface, but they allow you to bring cigar cutters. This just seems really, possibly very dangerous to me, You put a finger in, well, you get what I'm saying. And number 11, CO2 cartridges. Now, the TSA says you can't bring these on as a carry-on or in your checked bag. Again, there's a but. But CO2 cartridges for a life vest is all good. Really, they say you may bring a life vest with up to 2 CO2 cartridges inside, plus 2 spare cartridges in your carry-on or check bag. But the ones that are in your carry-on or your check bag, those have to be associated with the life jacket. So as long as they're associated with the life jacket, you can bring up the 4 CO2 cartridges with you. But you're not allowed to bring a single CO2 cartridge with you without any life jacket. Figure that out. Now, of course, there's the exception, CO2 cylinders for medical devices. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not saying you can or can't. I mean, I know you can to some extent. Whether you can in some areas, I have no idea. Again, I'll have a link down in the description below for the FAA regulations and all that stuff, okay? That way you guys can look that up yourself from the official websites. Number 12, Cowboy Spurs. Looks like you can bring your Cowboy Spurs on board. Just jangling right through the aisle with your spurs and sit down with spurs because, you need spurs when you're flying. Just in case that plane doesn't get off the ground, you can just give it a little, yeah, and there it goes. Or whatever they say when they stab the poor horse. Number 13, crampons. Now, in case you guys don't know what these are like Freddy Krueger's gloves for your feet. Definitely a weapon type thing, and I don't understand why they're allowed. What these are used for is people who like to climb frozen waterfalls in the winter, or to go mountain climbing in the winter when there may be some ice. Basically, it's a little stabby thing. You jab into ice and gives you a grip, and you can walk. You can also do it on flat ground too, but what have you. But why these are allowed on as a carry-on, I have no idea. Because, somebody brings these out, you got a mess. No, nobody needs to bring that as a carry-on. Check bag, sure. Number 14. Now, I have no idea why anybody would do this, but you know somebody had to have tried this. You can bring dry ice. Again, why you need dry ice on an airplane, I don't know. But somebody needed dry ice on a carry-on. There are limit weights and packing rules, but TSA says you can bring it. Number 15. This one I think is kind of funny. A Geiger counter. Apparently you can bring your own personal radiation detector on board. Perfect for those just-in-case moments. I mean, you're so many thousands of feet in the air. Are you worried about the radiation? Because if so, then you shouldn't be flying. Not that, that's really a thing that I worry about when I'm flying is radiation. I'm more worried about staying in the air. I don't know. But you can bring it on your carry-on bag and make sure that nobody around you has too much radiation for your taste. Have fun. Number 18, handcuffs. Yep. Handcuffs. You heard me. Maybe you're a cop. Maybe, maybe we'll just move on. Number 19, foam sword. Plot twist. You can bring handcuffs, but a foam sword's off limits.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why. The TSA is very afraid of a soft mutiny on board. Everyone has their foam swords and they're going to charge the stewardess and then the pilot and take over the plane with their foam swords because they're going to hurt. All those foam sword injuries. I don't know. Number 20. All right, this one's for all the potheads out there. Hookahs. Yes, you can bring your hookah in both carry-on and a check bag. I know you guys were wondering. You guys needed to know. You all was like, can we bring our hookah? I don't know. Can we? I don't know. What you want? You bring it. I ain't going to bring it. You ask. I'm not going to call and ask because then they're going to... No. I found out you could bring your hookah. Now quit worrying about it. Just one piece of advice. Make sure that they're unused. That's all I'm stating. I'm not saying anything else. You can take that however you wish. But nobody wants to smell it on board. Whatever it is. Moving on. And next on our list, you can bring live coral and even your live emotional support fish in water. Just make sure that it's in a clear container. If you need your emotional support fish with you, you can bring them. You can bring Oliver or Henry or whatever their name is, along with their coral that's alive. Number 22, pizza. The TSA says yes to pizza. Now the website just says pizza. So my question is, are they talking about frozen, fresh baked? Which is it? Or is it just any kind of pizza? Does it have to be hot, cold, room temperature, a whole pizza? Do I have to bring a slice for everybody on board? What's the deal? I want to know. I'm kind of curious because I definitely do not want to be smelling somebody's cooked or old, even, which may be worse, anchovy pizza. I don't want to smell that. For an hour flight, an 8-hour flight, I don't want to smell that under any circumstances. And number 20-something, because I totally screwed up these numbers, pots and pans. Most cooking gear is fine, but you need to leave the cast iron skillet at home. Why the cast iron skillet? I don't know. They all have handles, they all made of metal, they all can be swung. But the cast iron skillet, I guess because it's just known to be a little bit more sturdy, I don't see how that's really makes that big of a difference at this point. You're allowing pots and pans and they don't have a limit on how many or size, weight. I mean, I'm sure there is, but I don't know what it is. But it says you can do it, so go for it, guys. Bring your pots and pans. And next on our list, Segways. These things are huge. And again, I don't get it. And am I missing something? Because, as far as I know, these things are big. And as far as I know, this is what a Segway looks like. If I'm misunderstanding what a Segway is, please tell me, because that's the only Segway that I know of. But you can bring those on as a carry-on. It says you can bring them. You just got to check with the airline. As a carry-on. That's a big carry-on. I want to see somebody get that in the bag bin that you're supposed to put your little bag in to show that your carry-on is only so big. With a lot of these things, you can't get these things in that little bin that says, if your bag can't fit in here, you need to check it. A Segway's not fitting in there under any circumstance. Now there's half of this other stuff. I don't know. Next on our list, we have shock collars. Again, I don't know why it's allowed. Like, why do you need this? Why? And besides, who comes up with this? Who made this list of stuff to say, yeah, you know what? I think a shock collar is a great idea. And you know what? We're not even going to say that it has to be in, no power. No, you can have power to it because it doesn't say unpowered. It just says shock collar. Yes. Carry-on bag. Most definitely. Why? Why are you letting people do this? Again, this next one, snowboards. They're big. These things, I want to see somebody put that into the bin. Put that in the bin. Put that in the same bin as the Segway. And the bag bin, yeah, I'm back on that again. I want to see you put that in there. But you can bring your snowboard. Again, there's no apparent guidance on how big or how wide, or if it has to technically go in the overhead bin. I'm assuming they'll let you place it in your lap. I have no idea. Maybe you have to buy a ticket for it. I don't know. But you can bring it as a carry-on. And next on our list is adult toys. Yes, you heard me. Those kinds of toys are allowed. Toys are not just for little kids, but you maybe just keep them in your check bag to avoid some awkward conversations. Just in case you have something that's made with a little too much metal and I had to pull it out and see what it is. You may not want that or anything else of that nature in your carry-on. You can if you really, really need it for whatever reason on board, but you can. Last but not least, used syringes are okay if in a proper container. That's what they say. I ask why. Why are you bringing these? Nobody needs to bring these. It's used. You can't use it again. It's in the container. I get that. Just bring the empty container with you. And if you're coming home, get rid of the empty container properly through the hotel. They'll take it. They'll have no problem. They would much rather you say, hey, I got this container medically sealed that has my used medical needles in it, and I need you to dispose of it properly. The hotel will do that. Free of charge, happily, with no issues. Please don't do this one. Don't bring used syringes. I don't care if they are in a box. Please don't do it. I won't do it. You don't do it. Deal? Deal. Okay. That's great. No, but really, please don't do it, guys. That one's just, and I don't understand it. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me on anything I said? Do you guys agree that these things should be allowed? Do you think these things are ridiculous? What is the most ridiculous thing that you have seen brought on as a carry-on? I don't know. This was kind of interesting. Like, I never thought you could bring some of this stuff, or that you can't bring a foam sword. Like, that never crossed my mind. But you can the lightsaber. What's up with that, guys? Why can you bring a lightsaber but not a foam sword? Have you seen some of these lightsabers? They are hard, especially if you get some of those new ones at Disney World. Those suckers are heavy, I've heard. And they're hard looking. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Chuck. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys thought. Have fun, guys. Until next time.